What's that?
A nice viewing area.
Oh, it's gonna be Can y'all hear me?
You can.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna be sitting here with us.
Soon enough. In fact, I'll have someone joining shortly, just so you guys know both of our faces and names, but we're going to find a time for us both to come down pretty soon.
Maybe we might water.
Yeah, I got it. Turn on.
Bob, you want some water? Art, water? Well, Art?
Yeah, I guess I got some.
Yeah, ready? Yeah.
Water?
Chuck wants.
No, I don't.
Christie?
Water, or,
Hand it down.
Art wanted one.
Yeah.
Don't shake it up.
How many trustees did it take to?
Randy, you want some?
Thank you.
I don't know. Such a lot.
Thank you.
Did you?
Just passing through.
Yeah, I started. And
That many. Towns. Yeah.
Who's the picture of this? It's already signed.
Overall manager. She was on last.
That's just for evidence.
Well, it's signed, it hasn't even been passed.
Yes.
Just for that.
No, this was. What to do. Systems managers.
Right.
We did that last month.
He's a nice guy.
You're thinking of it.
Read, passed and approved the 19th of August. That's today.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. We talked about it.
That's right.
Oh, we still have. Give us a second. This is below them. And so here's an apply to that.
Yeah. Hey, remember the old TVs and they wouldn't work, you smacked them?
Yeah.
And the mouse fails, I give it a shot.
Wait, we did see you.
They grabbed it into the account.
That means there's a connection.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know what, taking these little classes.
Absolutely. Brian was going on, I did
I have my experience. I have. I said, he keeps telling me about the place, let's just talk about it. So I'm thinking it was me. So I started looking at the market.
We had no traffic.
So I see little arrows pointing to screws, I started taking off screws. I took out 32 screws, got a lot of the back off, never
We're calling this meeting to order. It's 5:30. August 19th, 2025. We'll start the meeting by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, please call the roll.
Mayor Winky,
Present.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Present.
Mr. Yago,
present.
Mr. Fulton,
Present.
Mr. Nordike,
Present.
Mr. Wilhelm,
Present.
Ms. Patterson. We have a quorum.
Thank you, and we'll start, Deb, with recognition of visitors.
Deb Adams, Custer County Tourism.
John Van Dorn, okay, tourism tonight.
Sean Austin, Westcliff Suites.
Bianca Trenker, Ravens Lodging.
Terry Peters, 409.
Eric Messick, Custer County and Dark Skies.
Bob Wolf, Shemeridge.
Chris Medina, Alta Convenience.
Okay, thank you very much. We have people online, Deb Van Dorn. You there?
She's muted.
She's muted.
Anita Gregg,
Yes, I'm here.
very good. Who else is up there? Ken?
Kevin.
Kevin Reynolds,
Kevin Coates is present from Dill & Dill. Thank you.
and who else?
Dan and Alex are
Okay,
attorneys.
yes, okay, very good. All right, welcome, everybody. We have, I accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
It's been moved, the second. All in favor, say aye.
Discussion.
Discussion, yes, go ahead.
Question. Aaron, I had a couple of questions on things, can we do that on Thursday?
Mhm.
Workshop,
Yeah.
nothing critical, but just
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, for the workshop, yes, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carried. Under old business, request to approve modification of premises of Alta Convenience Store. I have a question of our attorney on this, and that is that Alta has met all the requirements of the state, and they have been approved by the state for these changes. What authority do we have as a town, because the state's approved it, to approve or deny their request?
Yeah, I largely say, well, first of all, welcome board for those of you that I haven't met, but I largely would share your assessment that in terms of what the statutes and regulations.
We can't hear you. I hope you can see us.
See,
Can you hear me now?
Hear you now.
Okay.
So would you start over, please?
Sure, yeah. First of all, I was just saying welcome to the board members I haven't met yet. Thank you for having us. I do largely agree with that assessment that from all the materials I've reviewed, the application and the requirements to have been set forth in the application have been met, and all the regulatory bodies have approved. So I have not seen anything in the file that would give your board the ability to reject or deny. That doesn't mean that such facts cannot exist. I just have not seen any that would support a denial here.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. So this is old business, so it's a consideration of request to approve a modification of premises at the Alta Convenience Store. This was tabled last month, so our attorney could be here. Alta did send a modified application removing one of the areas where they were going to sell beer on the original application. It's in our file tonight. So I need a motion to approve or deny.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, before you do that, may I interrupt as usual? I have a question for our lawyer. I'm Mark Domboski, board member. When, some advice maybe for the future, from my point of view anyway, is that when the transfer application was forced some time ago, I voted against it based on the notion that we had two liquor stores in town that were locally owned and already another corporate one. And I thought that was in the interest of the taxpayers and the citizens. But is there anything in the law, the Colorado laws, that would substantiate that as a bona fide objection?
With, just to put words in your mouth, with the objection being because there's a small business competition or just in favor of what already exists, we don't want to execute a transfer. Not generally. I mean, I think from what I've seen, there has been some communication amongst you all about, character of the neighborhood changing. Those are what's set forth in the regulations and statute are the grounds by which it can be denied. Obviously, once a license has been issued, a transfer sets forth another kind of chance to check in on those. But again, absent sort of those underlying facts having changed, you are kind of stuck once a license has, and stuck isn't the right term, but you know, those businesses are entitled to the licenses that they originally had approved.
Thank you.
Randy, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, now, the sheet that you gave us here explaining where you're gonna be placing all of this and the bear cave also. Is that the only places that you can have liquor sales displays? Or is there, can a person come in there and just put a skid on the floor and put cases of beer on it and sell it out that way? Or is it restricted to just these areas?
That's a question for Alta to answer.
Is that for me to answer? If I appreciate that, Kevin Coates for the record. I guess I draw the distinction between display being for sale versus items that are set out there to be stocked at a later date. In other words, that are temporarily there. So our understanding is that the amended proposed floor plan that you have in front of you, what we're presenting, and Mr. Medina can correct me if I'm wrong, is that we want to show you exactly where all alcohol will be kept and displayed for sale. Now there could be a temporary basis. It does allow for temporary display areas pursuant to the bulletins been given to us. Really, the intent isn't to do any of that. The intent is to, consistent with the bulletin we talked about at the last meeting, have alcohol all in one area. That area being as you walk into the building to the left, where the bear cave is, and then some display areas for alcohol that's not cold alcohol. So that to answer your question, I think, is to say that there isn't any intent here to display in other areas for sale alcohol. In other words, if there's a case that's somewhere outside of that area, stacks on a pallet, those aren't for the purposes of sale. Those are there to be purposes of being stocked. And that is the intent here, as we talked about quite a bit at the last hearing. The intent is to move the 3 cooler doors into the beer cave area as built.
Correct.
Further questions?
May I ask Mr. Medina, did I articulate that correctly, Mr. Medina?
Yes, sir, you did. That's exactly what our intent is.
So there's not gonna be any skids over there like what you have now?
So the current skid that's in front of that counter will be completely removed and stocked into the cave. Yes. So there won't be anything that'll be permanently or long-term sitting there, minus when a vendor drops off in order to be able to stock into the cave.
Okay, I just don't want a bunch of displays everywhere.
Absolutely.
Skids sitting there with stacks of beer all over.
Yeah.
You want to hunt for it.
So is there,
I don't wanna hunt for it, I don't drink.
further questions of these gentlemen?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. The original thing was disapproved because the rules weren't followed for the building of the beer cave. I don't think it was disapproved just because of the fact that you wanna sell beer. And I don't think it's the job of this board to tell you how to sell, how to run your business, as long as it's within the inside the rules of liquor sales. That's my comment.
Yeah. Further comments?
Well, last thing is I think that possibly you'll be selling stuff that our town would not have gotten sold. Maybe buying Salida or someplace on our way to wherever they go. So, but then I hope that Alta would contribute to our community, some of the community needs, and be visible in that. I'm not sure that you are. Just remember us, for the community.
I would like to say I do appreciate when a couple of, last year, the year before, when you came down and talked to us, and you explained how you train your employees on sales, and, you're quite strict with that, and I did appreciate that, because we don't need any more people running off the roads, so, okay, thank you.
Further questions and comments? All right, thank you, gentlemen. I take a motion to approve or deny.
I make a motion to approve modification for the premises at Alta Convenience Store.
I'll second.
It's been, moved and second, this further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you very much. New business, so,
Appreciate your comments, folks. Very much appreciate that. Appreciate, Mr. Phipps' discussions and obviously talking about this, talking through it. So thank you, folks. Thank you for your time. And certainly Alta will remember, obviously remember your community and want to do whatever helps it. So thank you.
you're welcome, thank you for being business here.
Thank you.
Okay, tourism board report, John Van Horn or Deb, who's gonna do this?
John.
Very good.
You're taller, yeah.
Yeah, not anymore. So, yes, I got the short straw once again. What we're here to talk about is a full season marketing plan that tourism put together with the help of Colorado Tourism Office with a grant that they awarded to us to basically loan us a marketing consultant for X number of hours. So we put that together. By the way, do they have that in their packet, the slide deck? Okay, good. So we put this marketing plan together, and I think that over the years we've become kind of complacent. We just got used to shutting the town down in October. But since the turn of this century. But over the last 25 years, as you can see from your slide deck, we've had a sharp increase in county population. We've had a sharp increase in second home ownership. And I think maybe even more importantly, if you look at the cell phone data for visitation here, especially in the town, we have people coming back outside of what we normally think of as our season, as our tourism season. So they're coming back in November, they're coming back in December, they're coming back after our spring break. And so what we're sitting on now is kind of a missed opportunity in terms of attracting more tourism dollars and sales tax dollars into the county and into the towns. The first step of this process, executing this marketing plan, is to bring together the business community, the town, and tourism, and to collaborate on executing the plan. I think one of the big asks for us, let me back up here for a second. Deb and I went around the town and started talking to business owners. Because we don't have a Chamber of Commerce. We haven't had a Chamber of Commerce for a long time. And so it's hard to go to a meeting and basically explain this. So we have now the nucleus of what we're calling a business roundtable of business people, shop owners, and restaurant owners that are interested in this plan and making the town, I call it making the town attractive in the wintertime. Everybody knows that what happens right now, we tend to shut the town down. And we end up with a skating rink on the south side of Main Street. And so the primary ask here this evening is for the town to collaborate with tourism and the new business roundtable and work to make the town attractive and inviting during the winter months. And I think maybe one of the biggest asks there is getting on top and staying on top of snow removal on Main Street. That's probably gonna mean closing down the south side of Main Street after snow until we've gotten everything out of there. Right now, I know when I go to town in the wintertime, you're kind of picking your way around and avoiding the ice. I think it's just a potential lawsuit waiting to happen for the town as well as if someone slips on the ice, but we need to make the town attractive to visitors during that time period. So that's the basic pitch, if you will, to the town to join this new business roundtable, join tourism in doing a better job of marketing the town in the wintertime. I know that the business folks have been meeting every 2 weeks now. They've been talking about lighting up Main Street with Christmas lights, making it much more inviting. And talking about what kind of events they might want to have as well. So I'm going to open up for questions. We've got some people in the audience that might want to speak as well. But this is probably the first time you've heard this. So what questions might you have?
Well, when you say that the town closes down, what exactly are you saying closes down?
Well, basically, it closes down in terms of appearance. It closes down in terms of maintenance. We act as if Christmas hasn't even happened. We have people coming back, and what we think is mostly second homeowners in the November, December timeframe. And some of the comments we've gotten back from them is, there's really nothing to do in town. It's not inviting in the wintertime, because we're not taking care of it. So it is as if we closed the town down and decided that the season is over sometime in October, and even some of the shopkeepers close down and leave.
Yes, it's generally the tourist shops.
Yes.
Second shops that close down, and 2 of those generally close down during the winter.
Yes.
I live in town and I access Main Street almost every day.
Yes.
Even when there's snow, and I would say that the town has done an adequate job of removing the snow and pushing it down as far as they can.
I think that Sugarloaf would disagree with you, because in our meetings, they complain about the same thing. By the way, Sugarloaf sees that same pattern in their revenue. They've seen that for over 5 years. They're one of the, if you look at the cell phone data in your handout, which shows the visitation, you see these spikes in visitation that are happening in November, December, spring break, and most of the town is not taking advantage of that. Let me back up just a moment and talk about the marketing plan, because it comes in 3 parts, and it's something that we haven't done before. So part 1 is marketing to full-time residents. And that might be best described as eat like a local, but let's market to those full-time residents and encourage them to use our restaurants and go to our shops. Joe and Nancy from State Stop shared with us that their sales compared July to January declined 80%. And they kind of struggle through that that dead period. So they look at this as an opportunity to increase their sales, their winter sales. And everybody we've talked to would like to put Christmas lights on their storefronts and lighten up the town, if you will. But Jolie and Lucas both noted that, the parking in front of their shop, in front of their restaurant is an ice rink in the wintertime. It's kind of ice covered with sand, it's black. And although they take care of their own sidewalks, the street can be dangerous.
When I was president of the chamber,
We had a chamber, yeah.
I personally lit this town, personally. From Grandma's house, both sides of Main Street, all the way out to the Saddle Club, all the way to Tony's Pizza and the tire store. I paid for those lights myself. Pat Bailey from Solar Solutions and I did most. We got some volunteers here and there. We did it all. When I stopped being president of the chamber, they didn't care. Nobody cared. Merchants didn't care, and so forth and so on. So I would have to see some evidence that they want to put their own money up to light their own buildings. We got free power from Black Hills. We lit them up on Thanksgiving Day, and it ran till after the first of the year.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I think we need to do.
So we also talked about having fireworks off the bluff on New Year's Eve. Now, part of the concern I had about that was if we have the wrong kind of wind, could blow over into the town, burn the town down. So we wanted to, then we thought, well, maybe we could do it clear over on Kettle Lane and shoot it back this way over, and that might work too.
Well, what we've been talking about is a drone light show.
Those are expensive.
Well, so is burning the town down.
I understand that, but whatever you want to do, I applaud your effort, but,
well, good.
And the other thing I'll just point out to you, that our sales this year, just looking at the tax revenues.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
So January was down significantly. We were concerned here, but, February, we were better than last year. And about equal to 23. March, we were better than last year and better than the year before in sales during those months.
Good.
So, so the point is those sales are coming from the grocery store, my business, and other businesses here in town. So I applaud your efforts, and the more you can do to get that done, I'll do whatever I can to help. I don't know what the town can do. You mentioned ice rink. We looked at putting an ice rink in also.
We should.
Sorry?
Second Street.
Yeah, but not Second Street.
We're gonna put it in, it's a pond, an ice pond.
Yeah.
Down where, the pond that we took out,
Yes.
that was where it was gonna be. But we could still put a pond down there. The problem with that is you have to have a liner to put in the pond because the sun will melt it. And so you have to be cautious of that. We looked at a number of different towns. I think Creed's got one, and so on and so forth. And there were kids, I've been over to Creed this time of year, and you could blow any armament in our military down the main street of Creed at that time of year and get nothing. And it says there were kids playing hockey on the ice pond. So there's the locals that were doing it. Anyway, I think it's a great idea, John. It's just a matter of.
Well, it doesn't work without collaboration between the town tourism and the business community. And so the real question here, is there an appetite here with the town to engage with those two other stakeholders and make an effort to really drive this marketing plan forward?
What would the commitment be? You have a notion about that on the part of the town, but what does that mean?
Hey, John, Could I share something with the Board of Trustees?
I'd be happy for you to join me at the podium.
Okay.
I'd like to say something too, but.
So,
Yeah.
so what I want to read is something that I believe is in your master plan,
It
which
is
is exactly what we're
It
talking
is in the
about.
master plan.
So you've already given it thought, but you haven't given it action. So I'm going to remind you what is in your master plan. Winter tourism, untapped potential. Now, this is, somebody made it up here. Westcliff is currently a 3-season town with a major opportunity to expand attractions into the winter season. Transforming Westcliff into a 4-season town will encourage people to live here year-round. Currently, 25% of homes, oh shoot, hold it one second. Technology. 25% of homes in Westcliff and Silvercliff are unoccupied vacation homes during the off-season, and local businesses, including restaurants, struggle due to the lack of a sufficient year-round population to support our local merchants. To address this economic dead period, the town should collaborate with the county, Silvercliff, and the tourism board to develop events for the winter and holiday seasons. The goal is to attract winter tourism as outlined in the ideas below. Winter tourism from Thanksgiving to January 2nd. Christmas parade, Christmas markets with Santa Claus, including photo opportunities, gifts, and costume contest, tree lighting ceremony, holiday decorations along Main Street, including storefronts with decorative lighting, sledding area at the north end of the bluff. Consider investing in a snow machine. This could be located on the north side of the parking lot where there is an easement currently used for sledding, though some improvements are needed for safety. Street closure with propane heaters, fireplaces, mulled wine, hot chocolate, and s'mores, snow sculpture contest, New Year's Eve celebration on the bluff featuring a drone light show. So this is coming from the town of Westcliff. This is an idea that you put in your master plan, and then tourism, as well as this business roundtable that is forming, has some energy to put behind it. But I will also say that part of the ask is to get some financial backing from the town of Westcliff. And I believe in your current budget for facade improvements that you might have some funds left over. I don't think you can ask the businesses that are struggling, if you want lights up, you put them up. Why can't the town of Westcliff support the community and make our Main Street something that is appealing and attractive to enjoy during the holidays, not just for the visitors, but for the second homeowners and for the full-time people? So that's really part of the ask, is to have some financial support to make this plan that is in your master plan come to life.
Gee, John, I wonder who wrote that.
Well,
Raise your hand.
I will raise
That's a good
my
master
hand,
plan.
but I
don't see
didn't,
the
I
master
wasn't
plan
totally
on the-
alone in that.
Okay.
And all of you voted yes to approve that.
Well, I think it's a noble effort. I must say, talking about increasing the locals' participation in statistics, there's a thing called small sample statistics. So my opinion is just one out of the many permanent residents. Well, I gotta say, as far as I know, in the wintertime, most of us frankly welcome the absence of traffic. And we don't go to restaurants much, we go to everybody's house, little dinner parties and things. So it seems to me that if you wanna attract more spending in town, which is good for taxes, good for the hardworking people there and all that, maybe your emphasis ought to be on the Springs and Front Range.
Well, let me continue,
Okay.
because I said this is a 3-part marketing plan. Part one is market, something we've never done, reached out to full-time residents. Part two is reaching out to our second homeowners that are coming back during those times. And the ones that are coming back are probably coming back from the Front Range. Part three, which in itself is 3 parts, is marketing to marketing to weekend getaways for families, couples and singles from about Parker to Pueblo. Because we already draw a lot of our tourism business from the Front Range, if you look at the visitation numbers. So it's a three-part marketing plan. There's much more detail in the actual plan, but high level, that's what it looks like. And I think I put that in your packet as well.
Isn't the primary reason that we have a lot of these visitors from the Front Range or from these places is because they're coming here for the outdoor recreation activities?
Certainly.
Everything else is secondary, like, oh, well, we're out west, we might as well stop in and have a burger or stop in and have an ice cream cone.
I would say during the season, what we call the season, a lot of people are coming here for outdoor recreation. Not everybody, but a lot of people. If you're out there at the trailheads, you're going to see that increase in visitation. Wintertime, I don't think so. I think the message there is getting, well, you've all probably lived in a city at some point in your lives, maybe not, but the Christmas season gets pretty crazy. All the shopping and craziness and crowds and traffic. So we're positioning Westcliff as a getaway from that holiday madness, if you will.
Yeah, and I understand you're getting some of your statistics also on spending January, February, and March. You have ACE, and I think you cited another business. Lodging industry wise, and I know that sales tax reports come out a quarter behind, but come springtime, my business was so changed, I really was in a low-key panic. I called Westcliff Inn, Dark Skies Inn, Lamppost. I spoke to the guys at Three Peaks, and I called the town of Manitou Springs. Through May, 10 to 18% down. Our season really didn't start. We had probably the usual 5 weeks of madness in July. Usually it starts June 15th and goes to October 15th. I'm already seeing the cliff. We fell off, and I'm kind of looking out for fall. But industry-wide, travel and lodging equates to hamburgers, beers, and coffees is approximately 10 to 18% down mid-high season. So we have always needed stronger shoulder seasons. We've always needed a little bit stronger holiday seasons. This town has an opportunity different than Woodland Park, Salida, Canyon City. We have a highway running through that people literally have to stop and take in the view, get affected by the atmosphere and decide, is this a good place to stop, stretch our legs and grab a cup of coffee, a beer, or a burger? And quite frankly, in the interest of sales tax, you haven't gotten your official reports yet, but I just want, VRBO, Airbnb, the ski resorts, there's a statewide, I don't know, what was the source? The ski areas are completely changing their marketing plans for this coming winter. Because people that used to travel for 2 to 3 days are now booking for one night. People who used to do for one night, the day trip is back. So just wanted to add and throw out some of that information because you guys get sales tax information a quarter behind. I'll be interested to see what the overall sales tax revenues for the summertime will be, but by then we'll be into or past the holiday season. And just a little forethought, if you guys do have, and I'm not sure, lights are nice, but they come on when it's dark and all the businesses are closed. Garland, a tree back at 3rd and Main, holiday bells, Santa, whatever, second. No, was it second or 3rd and Main? No, right
Well, it
there.
used to be at 3rd and Main, but.
There is one, we had one up just a couple of years ago there.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the town side, so that when people have to stop at that stop sign, they say, oh, this is kind of a cute place to stop. Maybe we'll spend a few dollars. As well as one thing that came up at the business roundtable was, and he's not here, I think the gentleman Scott said, when the town removes, so now we have a red line coming up to the stop sign, a red line when you turn right. The only parking space, lot is when you're driving through town, you turn right, and if you did want to stop, you could pull into that parking lot. But the town is currently using that as a dump site for snow, which they need. They have to put the snow somewhere. But if somebody were driving through town and wanted to stop to spend a few dollars, where would they? They'd have to loop all the way back around to come back in. So those were some concerns.
Well, we have potential. We're a small Main Street. We have potential to be like Mayberry, you know? And Tony from Wild Iris Gallery, who I believe has had a business for over 15 years, he can only remember one holiday where we actually dressed up the town. So why don't we have pride to dress up the towns for the holiday? For the locals, don't even worry about the visitors, although tourism has been very proactive with Colorado Public Radio. We have seen a bump in people from Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and Denver coming, and we will continue to do that. But why can't we make our town special? It's just a few blocks. I don't think, you know, you're not looking to do like the neighborhoods, but just Main Street. So I'm not quite sure why the town of Westcliff doesn't feel they can take some responsibility for improving our town for the holidays, to make it right for all of us.
Did we say?
Well, you said it's up to the business owners to spend the money.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, what's wrong with the town of Westcliff spending some
Well,
money?
maybe it's a shared expense.
Well, of course, it can be.
So I think that what you should do is, if this board and individual members of the board want to participate in a committee, that's fine. And, but you should bring a proposal back to us as to what you want to do, so we can, and the cost of it, so we then, as a board, can discuss it and debate it, you know. I would love to see the town get lit up again. I mean, I fell off 2 roofs doing that damn project. And I did it for 5 years. And it just, when I stopped doing it, when I stopped becoming, nobody wanted to do it anymore. So, and all the lights were up. All they had to do is replace bulbs. Anyway, that's a long time ago. Anyway, so, Christie.
Well, I just think that, I'm glad to see that there's some business involvement right now, but I have to agree with Paul in the way, and I was also the chamber president, and I also was one of the original members of the tourism board. It gets really frustrating from the town government standpoint to be wanting to do all this stuff and wanting to help the businesses, and then to get nothing from the businesses. No, okay, we can help, or yeah, we'll volunteer to help put the lights up or help whatever. It's just like, no, the town's supposed to do that for us. And so if there was a little bit of reciprocity, that would be really, really great. Because I don't think that this board is against it at all, but it's a give and take.
Yeah, sure.
Identify.
Hi, I'm Tammy Patterson. I am the owner of A Little Warren. It's the new shop on the corner of 3rd and Main. So if you, this weekend, actually starting Thursday, if you just want to just drive by, you don't even have to stop and shop. But if you just want to drive by, I have a lot of ideas, but I mean, anyway, so that whole like patio area where my shop is, I'm gonna have that completely like falled up. You know, I'm gonna have my fall open house. So I'm gonna have a fall backdrop inside of there, and all kinds of other decorations and stuff like that. So, and I'm gonna keep that up for the whole season, whole fall season, for like photo ops for whoever would stop. You know what I mean? Like they could stop and take a picture, a cute little fall picture, whatever. It's gonna look very adorable. So if you would like to just kind of drive by and look at it, that would be great. But I also would like to do that for Christmas. And so that part right there is the only part that number one is covered, which is really cool. I don't know. I'm willing to do whatever. I mean, I feel like that would be a fantastic, idea. But, yeah, so if you just would like to stop and like see, that's kind of like, in my mind, what I feel like the whole downtown could look like, because I just love this town. I love it. I love the people. I love being here. And I do appreciate some of your input as far as like, yeah, everybody wants the town to like maybe die down a little bit in the winter so that we can all like relax, but that's great if you don't own a business. But if you own a business, it's not that great. So, I'm very, committed to like, the community and not just tourism from my shop standpoint. So, I would like to be open all year. I'll see if that happens or not, but anyway, just wanted to, I'd like to do that, what I'm doing in fall for Christmas too, so anyway.
So you've mentioned the chamber. The chamber has been gone for over 5 years now. So that's a dead horse. There's a whole new group of business owners and they are motivated and they are excited and they do want things to happen. So I believe your request to have collaboration is very strong. And that's why there's this business roundtable group happening. Now, right now, it's a kind of a little seed, but it's definitely growing. So, collaboration is the only way we're gonna get anything done. We can't rely on Paul to light the whole town up again.
Which I would not.
Put lights on this building.
Or get on roofs. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Well, and
You
it might be interested for you. I'm not on that board, but I was at one meeting and it was interesting to me that she was there and she's on the corner. The owners of Zeta and Stagecoach are there, our Stage Stop, and they're gonna be doing something. K2 Gallery is gonna be doing something. Scott from the theater was there.
Yeah.
Ravens, and getting excited about what I heard. Just spent the entire weekend buying holiday decorations for West Side Lodging. And, I know Bootleggers does a lot. So the energy that you guys have been looking for, I think right now there's people coming together. It would be a good time to work together. And if the town has some money to put towards garland and lights, I think these people would as well.
I would agree, and, I lost my train of thought. So what you wanna do is put a project together, and maybe you don't do it all, maybe you do it over a period of a few years. In other words, you have a longer term, ramp up, and then we can find monies in our budget on an annual basis to fund phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, something like that. That's what I'd recommend.
I think we start with focusing on November, December, New Year's. Because that's the low hanging fruit. We don't have to decorate all the way from grandma's to Tony's, but certainly second to third.
And Just Price Park.
Right.
And the park,
Just Price Park gets lit up now, doesn't it, Neil?
Yes, from Grandma's house down Main Street to 4th Street,
Right.
so that includes Just Price Park.
And there's some lights on the top of these buildings.
I
Yeah,
tried
certainly,
fixing them,
I'm
but some
sorry.
of them are broken, I couldn't
We'd like
get
to
on the
do
roof.
Well, I know, somebody needs to replace the bulbs,
Yeah.
but still.
Who's
we-
that somebody? I mean, like, who would do that?
And there's a power line going right across Main Street to the pole, because we didn't have power, but we got that up there, so no truck would run into it. It goes down to a pole where there's a box, and that would light up the whole north side of Main Street, all those lights.
all the lights that you used to put up.
Mhm. So anyway,
Can I ask
what
a
you
quick
should, what you should do is come up with a plan, over a period of time that we could do. If it's just repair the lights this year, that would be a big step. And, you have to have volunteers to do it, and they have to get on roofs and so on and so forth. So,
The only thing I was curious, because I think that was what was talked about, is the facade grant that the town still has money in, something that this group could ask to be tapped into? Is that something, and I'm just curious.
first, I don't know how much money's left in that fund. You bought
Around 20.
Around 20,000.
Is that right?
Yes. They only had one person apply for it this year.
So that
But
would be,
now you've got a situation where if you start taking that money away from the facade grant, you're setting another precedent.
no, I understand all that. And one of the problems we've got is that this is not in our budget for this year. Okay, so we have to find something, maybe it's in the parks budget or someplace else to take it from. And I don't know how much it's gonna cost. That's why we would need something come in front of us so that we could find the money in our own budget. Christie?
I don't think it'd be unreasonable if the facade grant time has come and gone, but there's still money left in that budget. I don't think it'd be unreasonable to say we're gonna move that money or a portion of that money to go toward this, because in essence, it is
a
helping the
facade.
facades.
Right.
So there's that, but then that's not to say that we're doing that every year, but
Right,
perhaps for
right.
2026, we need to reevaluate our budget, maybe take, if that facade grant's not getting as much use as what it originally was, maybe we move some money around and then we have money budgeted for Main Street off-season or something like that. But I don't think it's unreasonable to take some of that money and put it toward this if there's a good plan in place.
Well, in our, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say is perhaps in the next year, there was quite a bit of money raised for the fireworks up there at Silvercliff, maybe at grassroots. Get people to throw in donations might also help, not the soul of it, but help.
I think that's reasonable thought.
Let me
yes.
sum it up here. Fellow trustees, I've been going to these meetings. And I recognize him for getting those lights done many years ago. But I was here during all that, and it was a winter wonderland. It really was. And
What was called Light Up the Valley.
exactly. And so, and all that, that's a whole big thing. But anyway, so I think that's exactly right. We talked about that in the meeting last week, and I brought up the fact that we did have facade money left over, and I agree that, hey, we can maybe on Thursday allot some of that as we readjust the budget here toward the end of the year. But anyway, but I'm totally excited about, there's a new vibe on Main Street. And so, there's a new vibe, and so and whatever little thing, even if they foam a bone, a little bit of seed money to get it started, and then find out if Tammy's really gonna do what she says she's doing. And Joe, no, I know that, Tammy, but I'm saying, but see, let's, put it in, because, we have a good group now, and it's a kind of a transition period, in my opinion, okay?
I'd like to, remind the board here, well, we've had budget workshops and we can't make final decisions, as we all know, but there was a lot of talk already about using that facade grant if we need to support the worker housing enterprise in the near future. Now, I know things have sort of changed in that trajectory, but I think we got to certainly wait till our budget meeting on Thursday to see how all those stack up.
Do you have a feel for how much money?
So we have a meeting on Monday and we will make the priority to come up with a plan and a budget that maybe we can present September's meeting.
Yeah, the other thing comes to mind here is, I mean, I'm supportive of the thing, I suspect we all are. We don't have a town manager, or whatever we want to call it. So what I worry about is if there's an obligation to the town, I don't know if the staff can support it at this time or not, but that's another issue I think we have to consider.
Yeah, capacity is always an issue.
I'm sorry?
Capacity is always an issue.
Yeah.
But I think, I think it's important that we've got one trustee that is coming to these roundtable meetings. I think it'd be a good idea to have another one, especially at this next meeting, so that you've got a better idea of what's going on. I think the collaboration needs to happen at a deeper level. It's not us just going back and thinking about it and then presenting at another meeting here. I think we need to put our heads together in kind of a workshop fashion, so you know, so you can feel the energy, the new energy, the new vibe, as Bob says, and do a little give and take with the people.
We need a pot shot.
No.
That was banned.
Okay, you got the new attorney smiling on that one.
He's running, I see the door closing. I actually have had people ask where the local pot shop is. They can't believe we don't have one.
Okay, I think we've got a full, idea here. And, we have a budget workshop coming up. Well, it's not, we have another workshop coming up, once we get our probably it'll be in September or October. It may be too late, but we'll try to get it, something going. And we could look at the facade grant, revenues or monies that we do have, if we can get something going this year. And, just getting the lights done, just getting the lights on all the trees in Main Street, that doesn't take much anymore because half the trees are gone. But, that was,
That would be a big deal.
Yeah.
When's your next meeting?
And what did we call that back in the day?
Light up the valley.
Light up the valley. I think that we could use that again.
Sure, light up the valley.
Could we find out what the town does have? Like you have lights, so could we find out what the town has?
Hands.
Like what lights do you have that we don't
Christmas
have?
decoration.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if we have any.
Neil,
We must have something.
You do downtown right now.
Yes, I put garland up around the street light poles. Half of those have Christmas lights in them, which is hooked up to power and comes on as dusk and stays on till 10 o'clock at night. The trees have Christmas lights wrapped around them. That's all I have is Christmas lights and
Okay.
garland.
Okay.
Okay, but you don't know of anything actually on the buildings, because Paul, you thought there might be lights.
It could be, somebody would have to get up there. I mean, it's been years, and I don't know what the sun has done to the cables and so on and so forth.
We told the businesses they're allowed to decorate their business,
Yeah.
and that would be the building on the top and stuff like that. The light plugs into the same pole.
Okay,
Some of them have done it, most of them did not.
Well, I would love to. How do we find out where that pole is or what you're talking?
It's right in front of your, where the trash can sits, the
Yeah.
light pole is there,
Yeah.
it has power.
Perfect.
So is that the only, to understand that is the main place where like anybody in town who wants string lights has to get to that pole?
No, man, every light pole on Main Street, in the second block to the fourth block, has power with the exception of 3, I think. They have, the power is out, I have to get that fixed.
So you would run a cable over, like from that light pole, like over the top to your building?
Yes,
or-
ma'am.
It's in
Andy
the
done it
alley.
on his corner.
Oh, okay.
But down at Fifth Street, we're on our
My
own.
husband can.
Fifth Street, I'll have to check that light pole to see if it has an outlet or not. do not
I just haven't
Where
looked,
Fifth
but we're at the
and
corner of it.
Yes.
But my interest, I don't know if that's liability or legal that I'm getting confused about. You would have a cable in the air from the building to the light pole?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
But it's
as well.
in the alley, the poles are in the alley, so you're not
No.
running across Main.
Oh, he's talking about right for that.
it's on the corner, whatever business you are, you have the sidewalk that it's your duty to clear. There's usually a light pole on that side of the sidewalk somewhere. There's 4 or 5 of them there.
Old fashioned
So
one.
from that light pole, it would go over to your business front, up above, overhead.
okay.
Some of them have.
Sounds like I might need help.
We'll come up with a plan.
I can walk around with you and show you where they're
I
at.
think we've,
I think it's time to gavel this topic to an end tonight.
I think we've got an approach here. Yeah, if we're gonna do this, we have to get started quickly. This is just August, so we should start, if we're gonna do lighting and everything, we need to get started certainly by October 1st. To make sure it's lit up by, if you do Thanksgiving, is that the kickoff for lighting things? It takes time, it takes people to do it and so forth and so on. But, If you come up with a plan, we'd be happy to entertain it. We're looking at that fund for facade grants. I would expect, this is just one voice, that the business committee wants to put some money into it too. Okay?
They are for their own, buildings for sure.
Well, and what the tourism is doing, so right now we have the Main Street banners out that are promoting the summer events. We'll be shifting those in September to, nonprofits, community-focused organizations. And then we are looking to also switch out, I'm sure he doesn't want to hear this. We're looking to put up holiday banners also for like December and January, just to, just liven things up. So that's the plan. So we will come up with a plan for the September meeting.
Okay, very good. Anything else?
And I'll offer any of my fellow board trustees to come, and Deb Tourism will provide a nice, stage stop burrito for you for breakfast.
Maybe.
And coffee.
So anything else on this topic? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I need to talk to
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Paul.
Before you leave.
Whatever.
Are you leaving?
I'm leaving.
I want to ask you a question.
In private or-
It's a private question.
Good question.
Yes.
So next you guys can present.
No, we don't. You know.
Next item on the agenda is
16.
consideration to approve resolution 2025 to amend the town policy handbook to add distracted driver clause. The state of Colorado changed its rules regarding distracted driver. What they did, we have to put this in our handbook. CIRSA is recommending to do that. That's resolutions in front of you. And you want to cover it, Aaron?
That was it.
Yeah, pretty.
During CIRSA's audit, they recommend our handbook match up with the hands-free driving.
Okay, so I would accept a motion to include this in our handbook. It's
I move that we approve resolution 2-2025 to amend the town policy handbook to add a distracted driver clause.
I second it.
been moved in second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So we've got, next time on the agenda is to request a change to the town's internet service, using Starlink. Aaron, you want to take that, please?
We have Hilltop and internet is out like all the time. And it's getting frustrating. And so I think going with Starlink would be the best. However, it is $2,000 up front for all the equipment. The monthly payment will actually be less than Hilltop, but because of that $2,000, I put it on the agenda. If you don't want to approve it, we can include it in 2026 budget.
Okay. Now, you still have your Starlink?
I actually sold it to Aaron.
Chris wants.
I've got it.
I have
Starlink.
I have
Well, we
Starlink.
can't, we can't,
No, what I'm saying is equipment.
the equipment,
This is, she had it.
but it was residential, so it's
Yeah.
business.
That's a different one. That's okay, that's my
And they
question.
know, yeah, eventually they
Chris
know.
one, he was,
He does have business and he's,
he already got rid of it.
no, he does have the business equipment, but I don't know about the transferring.
He was talking about selling his, so.
They let you use the residential though? Cause we use residential at our business.
Okay, I'm not sure. That's,
They quoted us as a business.
I mean, I know there's the business plan, but I think technically you could buy residential. and use it.
technically,
They're
I
not
don't think we wanna really mess, personally, I don't think we should mess with that. If they want business, just do business. Because I mean, when you're
You don't
going
want
in
to
and
get-
buying it as a town of West Cliff, it's not like
Yeah.
you're a
Thank you.
resident.
Exactly, exactly.
Security up
Yeah,
on the resident.
We really want to try to commit some kind of
Well,
fraud.
I'll add to that, my sister started Starlink at their dairy and their residential. Took them about 4 months and Starlink figured it out, snip. And then they had to pay the full cost, plus they had already paid the cost for the residential.
Exactly, I just don't think we should, you know,
Okay.
try to.
So there must be some big difference because of $2,000 versus 500 in it for residential.
Of course, I think we're a business that's gonna, you know, but
They give you
that's
more
their
throughput.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wonder about. I don't have Starlink. But you do, and I was curious, Paul.
I do, yeah.
When it started, Elon had a lot of satellites up there, but not enough to have consistent throughput. Has that
We're-
changed?
We're in the pod that has, we're still, they wouldn't like let us start it up if they didn't have enough for this area.
My experience with it is that I get anywhere from, I've had over 400 megabits down to 17. And at night, especially during football season or something like that, people are all watching the Broncos play or something. Bandwidth only can take so much, and so a lot of people are using it. So the downput is, it goes way down, but it's still very effective. I've never missed anything. So during the daytime, it's fine. It's just during the night, people watching movies at home, whatever it is. So,
I mean, there's been days this whole town is out.
yeah.
And we
And
only
the-
ever get up to like 10.
And the only businesses who are up and running have Starlink, the bank, and Antlers.
We had
And everyone
Century,
else is down, so.
initially had CenturyLink and would be paying for a lot for
Yeah.
$165 for 30 meg. Starlink, we pay, right now we pay 150. And we get usually between 150 and 200, and that's 2 sites. That's here in town and up on the ranch. So Starlink is the way to go, in my opinion.
So, accept the motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve
Want a second?
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I was gonna say, to change our internet service to Starlink.
So it's, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We also have something very quickly, I'm gonna do, it was additions to the agenda, I'm gonna stick that in here right now. And that is that, we are changing our phone system next week. And the town needs we need a resolution from the board to do just that. So that is resolution 3/2025. A resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of West Cliff by adding a new town clerk as an authorized user on the town's phone system. Whereas the town has previously had a town clerk as an authorized user, which would be Kathy Rice, we need to change that person. And it's required by this provider, Nextiva. So anyway, that's what's in front of you, and we need to do that because we're changing the system next week. We did not know that. I had to send them a letter today, plus this. So they're talking. Anyway, so I'd accept the resolution to approve 3/2025.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 3/2025 to have Aaron Christie as the authorized user.
Okay. So all in favor?
Yes.
Second, I'm sorry. All in favor?
A second.
Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got all.
Okay, so the next item, I'm sorry. I'm coming. The next time I would like to table to next month, and the reason is this, Christie's been doing a survey of dark skies ordinances. Can you explain this, Christie? what-
Yeah, so I had said I was gonna work on this, I think I said last month, or maybe it was 2 months ago. And so what I've been doing is been going through the Dark Skies website, going through all the communities that are dark skies communities. There's 30, I think there's 40 of them now, because another one just got approved like in July. And I've been pulling the communities that are anywhere from 500 people to 12,000. And I've been pulling off all of their ordinances so that and then I'm making a table for all of you that says, you know, this is what's in these ordinances, like the big ones I'm seeing are, they have pictures of the types of lights that you're gonna put up, how many pages the ordinance is for the dark skies section, and they have whole sections, of outdoor lighting. If they have a section that's for like ballparks, if they have a section that corresponds with their noise ordinance. So I was just gonna put all this in a table, print out all of those ordinances, so everybody can look at all of them. You can have this table to look at, and I will be able to present that in September.
So, well, if we talk, I'm just not done, Chuck, and I'll let you talk. I'm just thinking that if we spend time on this tonight, we're gonna be talking about it again next week or next month. So.
Well, there's two issues though.
What's the issue?
Go ahead.
The one is,
There's a possibility that the lighting code has some inconsistencies in it that might need to be addressed. The other issue is the fact that what Mountain Valley Saddle Club has been in violation of the current town code for 3 years that have done nothing about it. We have a presentation prepared by Dr. Wolf to talk solely about the Wet Mountain Valley Saddle Club lights at the Saddle Club.
I understand that, and I would like to talk about this all in one meeting. Maybe it's a separate workshop, because sure as heck, we're gonna be talking about it next month again, all of this, so I'm just saying. We have, you know, I remember this documentation from the Saddle Club, and they had an expert come in, and so we have this conflict, or not conflict, but we have two different groups here who, Dark Skies, and we have Saddle Club and their expert. And one agrees, one thinks they're compliant, the other one thinks they're not. And so I don't know how to resolve that issue. So I'm just saying, I would rather do this either in a separate workshop where we can have more time and resolve it that way and listen to Christie's proposal or her findings rather than hammer it out here tonight. I don't think this is the place to do that.
Well, it's
an open topic.
Excuse me?
Pamela Wolf here was, this is very basic. If you have rules in place, I thought Christie used to manage an apartment that was fined for not following the rules. And the Saddle Club gets a free ticket because they're not following the rules, like what's?
Well, I mean, they think they are. They think they're compliant.
But they're not.
But they're not.
But
So if you would listen to Dr.
According
Wolf.
to whom?
yes.
Let Mr. Wolf give his
Well, we're not gonna
presentation
discuss-
and we will know.
I'm making a motion to table this to the September meeting.
I'll second it.
It's got been second.
voice vote, please.
I'm sorry,
Voice vote.
we'll have the clerk call roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all in favors, let's just call
Mayor Winkie,
them. I support.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Nay.
Mr. Yago,
Nay.
Mr. Fulton,
We'll do discussion, right, afterwards.
Excuse me?
But I'd like to address it tonight, part of it, but maybe nothing final, but.
so,
All right. I'm sorry.
so what vote?
What's your vote?
Oh, no.
Art? And so you support to table it? Table. Okay.
Wow.
Ms. Patterson.
To me, there are two different issues, Mr. Mayor, and you can't get it all done in one meeting in any case.
So we voted already to table it, so it's tabled to next month. And if we don't want to have a separate workshop, that might be the better solution to.
I would like, as soon as you have all of your information together, that we do a workshop. We get the Saddle Club. The workshop is what Christie wants to do, is to rework the ordinance. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. The town there's been a violation of the town code for 3 years. They had a variation for 2 years, but this year they did not. And they also have had their lights lit every Thursday since mid-April without the special use permit, which is called out for in the code that they must have a special use permit. So they flown.
What is it that you want us to do, Chuck?
Well, I'd like to see the town enforce their code.
Okay, very good. What I'm saying is, I think we need to take a look at what they believe is right. Saddle Club.
Has the Saddle Club come in here at all and tried to explain anything to the board? We've had Mr. Wolf come at least 3 times and has been sent home without being able to explain not an outside, but different opinion than mine about the Saddle Club, about the lights and the light
With
pollution.
documentation of pictures.
Yeah, what?
If you look at Dr. Wilson.
Like trespass.
Definitely, no question.
I mean, it's a visual. Can you see a difference? Yes.
Jim Bradburn worked very diligently the fall of 2023 with the Saddle Club to bring in an expert in the field of lighting. And the Saddle Club, once it was almost all arranged, the Saddle Club nixed it and said, you can't come.
Well, they have a document here. Have you seen this?
That's the Slater-Com report. That was their lighting proposal.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf would like to talk about that proposal because they shared that with Dark Skies.
Okay, so that's the problem is, we've got an ordinance that I think doesn't meet, I don't believe it is, doing us any good, any service in regard to this issue.
So you ignore it?
So
you
Why don't we
ignore
change
it?
it?
But what about today, in the last 3 years? I mean,
What do you want us to
if-
do about the last 3 years? We can't undo those.
no, but you can find them, you can call them on the carpet and make them compliant.
Right.
And they won't even come. If you listen to Dr. Wolf's presentation and give him a chance to explain, maybe you'd understand. Because you clearly don't.
I understand. I mean, I've been out to the Saddle Club. I went around it when the lights were on. I know a person who lives in Shadow Ridge, and the only problem he has with the Saddle Club during the rodeo is, he says they mow the grass and all the snakes come over my yard. So that's.
He's not the only resident of Shadow Ridge.
And it also, if you go to the observatory and look at the difference and look at the pictures of when the Saddle Club has their lights on and not.
Excuse me, the observatory cannot operate when the lights are on. Did you know that? We have closed the observatory every night that those lights are turned off for the rodeo, because we can't work.
I guess
When
I would
you
like
say
to
you
know,
can't-
why does one event or one entity trump another? Like, that's 1 week
And
out
that's
of
my
the year.
point. We need to have a situation where the rodeo can be conducted with safe lighting on their field. But we can't do our job down at the observatory, because when their lights are on, we can't do it. We can't.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, is 1 week out of the year ruining your life? I mean,
It's
like,
not
why
1 week,
can't
Christie.
you?
It's every Thursday.
Every Thursday like, I don't understand why there can't be, and again, this would come to people needing to come to the room together and agree with each other that, okay, so they have a function that's on a Thursday night for whatever, 3 months, 4 months out of the year. And then they have a function that's a week long for 1 week out of the year. Can you not use the observatory for those few, what is that, a total of 20 days?
This has to be coordinated.
Right.
Our schedule at the observatory is driven by other factors. So
Like the moon.
if the Saddle Club is allowed to turn their lights on at random, we can't work.
No, and I don't think they should be allowed to turn.
And that's my
That's
point.
what's happening now. And the proposal that I have no idea what they've given Mr. Winky, but what the original proposal, the Saddle Club was gonna install lights. They didn't do what was on the proposal. They changed it. So one thing was from the company that's, the light poles are gonna be this and this many lumens. That's not what they did. If you listen to Dr. Wolf,
I think the bigger problem here is that I wasn't on the board when all of this went down the last couple of years. But I know that the Saddle Club doesn't even feel comfortable coming to this board right now because they feel that they're being so threatened and intimidated. So that needs to, what do you mean, how is that? Because of all this yelling, because people getting angry about they're not in compliance and they're not even trying, and they're sitting here saying, yeah, they are trying, and they'll send you email strings that show that they were trying. And so what are you supposed to, like, what is this board supposed to believe? All I say is that we've got two entities that are equally as important to our community, and we need to, make something.
Well, when they refuse to allow this.
Can I have a word here on the board, please? So I'd like to read 10.43A. First sentence, all outdoor lighting shall be shielded so that direct light from the fixture does not trespass on neighboring property. And then I'd like to skip to H, special events. Outdoor lighting associated with nighttime events that are not compliant with this code requires special event permit approved by the Board of Trustees, which they, Chrissy, have not been doing. So we need to defend the ordinance. It's in place. The issue of what the ordinance might look like in the future is different from defending the ordinance. We have an obligation to defend the ordinance.
The only time that they've come to the board twice and gotten a special permit. So the last time.
They have not this year.
Right, this year they didn't.
And they've been running the lights every Thursday.
Well, I'd like to know why they're running the lights.
I can show you what they have.
No, I said I want to ask them why they are running the lights on Thursday.
I would like to say one last thing. Everybody thinks that I'm a mad little ferret on this. What I want to come out of all this is for the Saddle Club to work, to shield their lights, to help fix it. Ace had a problem with their lights. Mark and I worked with Ace. It took us quite a few months to do it, but that was because of Jeremy's travel schedule. But we solved the problem. We were able to put shields up. We have extended that offer to the Saddle Club, and they don't even want to hear us. My opinion is, if the lights that Ace had could be made to be compliant, there's no reason why the Saddle Club's lights could at least be made to be shielded.
We turned on the baseball diamond lights, or is that not shielded?
Which baseball diamond?
One on 4th Street.
You never turn them on at night, do you?
We've been asked to, but by the time we find out how and who and all that, their event is already over.
We're not Solomon on this board. And ideally, you guys would find a way to work together with the Saddle Club without bringing it to this board to try to resolve the problem. It's simply because I don't think anybody's gonna be happy. It's not, you want it one way, they want it another. They've been around since 1950.
That's irregardless of how long they've been here.
I'm just
They're
saying.
not following the rules, the
I'm
ordinance
speaking
is
first
set.
of all. So the point is that whatever we do here tonight is not gonna resolve anything. So I think we should delay this till Christie can get her facts together. I think we should have a special meeting, a workshop, where we can try to bring both parties together and where you guys can work it out. Try to figure out something you can do. You're gonna have to give to get. Nobody's gonna get everything they want. Bob?
My opinion is, let's, us, as a trustees, get together with Saddle Club, leave Dark Skies out of it. And then let's say, come on, guys, let's work together. We'll do everything we can to help because you are non-compliant. Okay, you didn't get your special use permit like you had done. You've proven you can do it. And you didn't even ask us. So let's do that because let's don't have these, you know what I'm saying? In other words, everything can be worked out. There's lots of good things around the country.
The mayor has asked.
I think that that it should be Dark Skies responsibility or the Saddle Club's responsibility, those two entities or any other entities have to work together. We need to have an ordinance that is clear and concise, that people can read and follow, and if it's not being followed, we can find them. And I do believe that and let me just say that from the research I've been doing, we have the smallest dark skies ordinance of any other dark skies community in the nation. So to say, yeah, I think it's terrible when everything else is spelling out, if you're an event, you can do this. If you're a business, this, all these very clear pictures of the kind of lights that are compliant. So there's no questions like what I had when I was managing Vista. And we just have like a half a paragraph on a sheet of paper. And so it's spelled out. These other ordinances I've seen are spelled out in a way that's very clear to the layman, so that if they're not compliant, it's very easy for the town to say, you're not compliant and we're fining you or whatever we decide to put in at that point. And I do think, and originally the ordinance was written that people that were already had their lights up, or whatever, if they changed the lights, they would have to be compliant. So it was like the old lights were grandfathered in. And I just think it's kind of sad that it turned into all of this because they were trying to better their facility. And now it turned into you shouldn't be using your lights. And I would, since there's so much dark skies representation here, and you guys are really looking at the Saddle Club, could you please look at the Alta? Because it's not good either. If we're gonna talk about all of
Complaints
it.
with the town about Alta, I just wanted 2 years ago or something.
Dan, could you give us some advice on this?
Yeah, I'm happy to weigh in, although clearly I don't have quite the full history, but it certainly appears like a relatively common, very two camps, both very dug in, maybe both open to some degree of compromise, and the town is in a tough position of sort of mediating. Certainly agree with the long-term solution that I see is a refined, improved, compromised ordinance. I don't hear a whole lot of disagreement on that point. Getting there may be easy, it may be tough, but I think doing the research and bringing the right groups together is a good way to get the long-term solution. As far as sort of active enforcement of the ordinance, I don't think I have the facts, or at least there appear to be enough disagreement on which side is actually right. I'm not rendering an opinion there, but just I would note in general, enforcement of a bad law is not always a good decision. We see that in a lot of walks of life, but you do need at some point that is the town's leverage, right? Is you won't get compliance if you don't have enforcement. So it's a balancing act. I'm just talking out of turn here, honestly. I don't see a whole lot of wins coming from punishing past behavior, and I don't really think that's achieving the outcome anyone ultimately wants. So I would just sort of say the key that I've kind of heard is some degree of compromise, some degree of, if we get the right ordinance, then we will be enforcing, and here's the exact fines. If you want to come and talk or share about why that's too aggressive or not, here's your chance. But if that is still turned down, then when you've got something on the books that reflects this board's vision and this community's vision, then enforcement is essential.
I've got a question for you, if I may. We've gotten in trouble in the past with open meeting law. So if we have a workshop with the stakeholders, can we make a quote decision?
Can't make a decision.
No, we can reach an agreement, but we can't make a decision that would come to this board.
See, but that's where I think we've gotten in trouble, that implicitly, we all agree. That's a decision, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
Sure.
never a motion.
Well, yeah. So, and what I would be clear about there is, you can't take action in executive session. You can have a workshop that's an open meeting, so it's not closed off to anyone. You won't have it necessarily action items at that meeting, but you can reach conclusions, discuss, decide for action items to come before a regular meeting or with enough notice to post what the decision is or what the motion might be, and then have that motion. You can have additional discussion at that follow-up meeting, but either way, the public has been a part of the process and notified of it the whole time, right? There was never, this decision was made in the dark, and how could we have had a voice in it? So you can talk about all that stuff in a workshop, but then it would need to be re-agended and potentially litigated even at a meeting before the action could be taken.
Could that include a draft plan, or is that a step too far?
No, you could come up with, you could agree on the ordinance language. You just couldn't pass the ordinance, if that
Okay.
kind of makes sense.
I thought there were times where it was really fuzzy about what's.
There are times that it's very fuzzy, but I don't, if there's no actions or policy level decisions, or like staff is directed to go do something as a result of the discussion, it's more of, did we all kind of figure out a solution here? And are we able to put that as an agenda item on the next meeting agenda to formalize any discussion or action, or give public the chance for input?
Okay, thank you.
If we do this workshop, Dan, can it be, like I just said earlier, just us and Saddle Club? I don't want to offend my friends at the Dark Skies. Is it appropriate to just have them part of the workshop?
That's a closed meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm asking, I don't know. I'm not trying to keep you out, but.
No, it would need to be open to the public. That doesn't necessarily mean all parties need to have permission to speak or be heard. You could have justifications for only listening to one party, but it would need to be open for anyone and everyone that wanted to listen. And I would recommend you should be fair and consistent to all parties.
Our policy on the workshops is that the public can attend, but they can't speak. And so in this case, I think we would invite like 2 people from Dark Skies and 2 people from the Saddle Club to sit down, and we'd try to hash out something and meet and come to an agreement. That's in my mind's eye, that's how I see this work with the board. And other people can attend, but they're in the audience and they can just sit there and listen if they like. That's kind of the way I would want to run the meeting. That's the way I will run the meeting.
One thing I'd like to say is this is not a Dark Sky versus Saddle Club issue. This is an issue between the town of West Cliff and the Saddle Club. It's just that the Dark Sky folks are keen users of the night sky and are trying to be stewards of it.
Okay, I think everybody's made their point. So we are of a mind that we'll try to get this organized within the next month. We want to hear from you first, Christine.
Well, if I get everything put together beforehand, I can notify Aaron, and if you guys just want to do a workshop instead, to go over everything, we can do that, or I could even send stuff to Erin. If she sends it out to everybody individually to obviously review. It's quite a bit of information. Whatever is best. I'm gonna be gone next week, but I'm pretty close to having everything done, so.
I think a workshop would be a good idea. It's hard to discuss details in a regular meeting.
I have a question. So in order to get put on the agenda, you have to schedule it, you have to get your stuff. But then every time he's been on the agenda, it gets tabled. And now you're gonna have a workshop and he still can't present what he's put together in terms of facts.
Well, that's what
So
the
how
workshop would be for.
But you just said.
it couldn't speak.
Excuse me?
You just said.
You said it couldn't speak.
No.
2 people.
I said maybe 2 representatives for each group can be in the workshop.
Well, I mean, anyone can be at the workshop, but you're saying speak at the workshop?
Excuse me?
So I said anyone can be at the workshop, but are you
Anybody
saying
can be at the
speak at the
workshop.
workshop?
But we can't have everybody speaking. That'll go nowhere. So you'd have 2 representatives from each group
That can't
who participate in the workshop. that make sense?
So then we could get the presentation at that time is what you're saying.
Yes.
And I think that would be healthy too, because of all your good work, and to hash out that too.
Yeah, I agree that the ordinance needs to fine tune.
All right, is that sort of mind everybody now on this? All right, very good. We're getting closer, right? All right, next item on the agenda.
Anything, is there?
This was, we did motion, we did nation. We table this for the next meeting, but we'll have a workshop in the meantime. Okay? Okay, that's been tabled. Very good. Any other additions to the agenda? Okay. Any from Neil, Jim, anything you want to bring up tonight? Okay,
Nothing.
Art?
I think we all need to go down and look at the park and see what he's done to Bluff.
I'm going to do that right after when I leave. I'll go straight down.
No, I think everybody needs to go down and look at it. It looks really nice.
So anything else? Yes, Bianca.
As a business owner, I just want to second what was just said and the efforts downtown this year. I think, I don't know what you're doing different, but it feels like the trash cans, the parks, the sidewalks, they just really look like you've taken, I think you've always taken great care, but I think that you can tell a difference. I just wanted to say that.
They work hard at it.
Thank you.
Well, that's why I wanted to know.
Well, we report to everybody, I'm on the Workforce Housing Committee and our housing needs assessment. We just got at 9 o'clock last night, pretty much the final version of it. And I read through quite a bit of it this morning, and we're going to be very interesting information and very, very great stuff. And I'm feeling really positive and very, and Lucas and I had a meeting this morning with an outfit that I think will be really beneficial to us. So things are moving along there.
In the check, so good.
That's right, exactly. We're getting our money's worth. And then you have something to say about where we are on the infrastructure.
Well, we've got, on the infrastructure project, we got 3 engineers who have submitted proposals. And so we're going to be taking that up with the water board, with Dave Schneider. So we're moving quickly on that finally. I'd like to get this all done. I'd like to get it in before the frost gets in the ground, but.
Well, the big thing too, Paul, is we have a survey. We know how much, we haven't seen it. We haven't gotten a final report yet, but the flags are up.
We do have a survey, and I want to get that property appraised once we, assuming we have water and sewer there. And the reason for that is if we, let's say a private developer wants to come in and do the workforce housing, great. They could then use that appraisal as equity, and so on and so forth. So there's a reason for that, and I don't think a survey will cost a lot of money, or an appraisal will cost a lot of money. I just had 40 acres appraised, it cost me $2,000. It wasn't all that much money. So I think that's just the wise way to go to get all these things in a row, so we have something. So
I've lost track of the chain of events that we're trying to put in place. So if we get proposals from the engineering outfits, that's to put the piping in, right?
Yeah.
I've lost track of the possible finance mechanisms. What have we
got a grant.
We did get that.
Oh, yeah. We got a grant, and it's a total of about, rounding it up, $750,000. That's a grant plus our match.
Plus our match, yeah.
Our match is about 150.
25%, but we
25%.
budgeted for it.
Yeah.
This is actually one thing that
Okay.
is in the budget.
Yeah, that's what I didn't remember.
Yeah, everything's ready to go. We just gotta get.
I'm assuming you guys know this, but just because it is we're starting housing topic, I assume you guys are aware that the state of Colorado is looking to increase the lodging tax from 2% to 6%. So currently, it's in existence for only 2 promotions. You know, so here, just for a second. But, right now it's 2% and it's always been earmarked for promotions and promotions only. So like Manitou Springs gives it to their chamber, we give it to the tourism board. The entire state of Colorado, because workforce housing and childcare is such a problem, is looking to statewide increase it to 6%. It would be 2% promotion, 2% workforce housing, 2% childcare. The commissioners look like they're gonna vote through to possibly raise it to 6%. So there would be on every bed tax an additional 2% for workforce housing, 2% for childcare, just so you know.
So would that be spread across the state equally, or just like, excuse me, like Custer County would get their, whatever they got?
So everybody that rents a room for me, for easy math, $100, right now it's 102, or I'm sorry, it's 107.9, 2% goes to promotions.
No, but I'm saying that with the state,
It wouldn't be.
so it'd be.
So whatever, so it's only who stays in my bed or in his bed in this county gets
I see.
collected by the state and then redistributed back to the county. So whoever sleeps in this county is the money that's collected and then gets returned to this county.
Okay, who gets that money, the county? or-
Currently, it is earmarked and always has been for decades for promotions. Right now, if it goes from 2% county lodging to 6%, it would be 2% promotions, 2% workforce housing, and 2% childcare.
The question is, who gets the 2% for workforce housing? The town or the county?
I believe because it's a county lodging tax, literally by definition, it says that, county lodging tax, I think the county would.
Paul, I've been involved in that too.
Yeah, he might know better.
Yeah, well, our county commissioners approved it their last meeting last month to put it on the ballot. The voters are gonna approve them.
I see.
As by county, it's not statewide. The whole state can do it, but I think pretty much half the counties in the state are doing it this November. The other half are going to wait and see. So, and then the county will get the money and then work with the workforce housing committee, whatever, however we have it structured at that point. Then that'll go, because one of the things which has came out in the housing need assessment is need for childcare. And those of you that, nobody in here, anybody would have children today. We have 0 childcare on Fridays in this community, 0.
We got a secret kid.
Exactly. So anyway, so bottom line is that 2% will be, funded and designated to whatever entity at that point. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but first off, it's gotta get it voted by our county people. Everybody, all our voters in Custer County will vote yay or nay on it. And it's already in the paper. I don't know if you noticed it, but it's already in there.
But somehow it's through the state. 'Cause
It all goes to the state and given
the
back.
statewide they're looking at. And then county by county,
They will
see
vote,
what, yeah, but
get it on the ballot.
somehow
The state,
is involved.
the state, Denver state government approved that it's okay to do it. Put it onto your ballots.
Okay, thanks, Bob. I didn't know that. Thank you, Bianca.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else to come before the good of the group? I do have one great announcement. Maybe you guys already know it. Our charging stations work.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have all that revenue flowing in too.
Yeah.
Yes.
We beat Silver. So
Well,
now
actually-
we have to get that money back. I don't know what we put, 90,000 or something like that in that.
I don't know. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay.
Isn't our original agreement that once it was running, we got a big water capital back
Yeah.
from the Black Hills or
Yeah,
something?
well, so from
State
there,
or
yeah.
somebody, yeah.
And already.
We need a neon sign right across the street that says charging station.
No, there
That's right,
is.
that's
CDOT's already put that up.
No, that wasn't CDOT, it was me.
Oh, you did? Oh, thank you. And
No,
Neil did a
neon
great job.
signs.
Neil did a
No
great job.
backlit signs.
All right,
Yeah, we need more signs.
All right, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Does anybody want to say anything?
Adjourn. Thanks, folks.
Anybody?
Thanks, Dan and Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Have a good night.
We got a note here.